For more on this, we're going now to our policy panel. We have John Sitilides, a geopolitical strategist at Trilogy Advisors, and Philip Giraldi, former CIA officer. Gentlemen, thanks for being with us today on this very historic day. So we're just a few hours out from this very historic meeting between Donald Trump, Kim Jong-un. Phil, I'd like to start with you. Many people around the world would argue that this meeting was kind of thrown together haphazardly. How would you describe the Trump administration's policy towards North Korea?
Well, I think there is some truth to the fact that there is an appearance of haphazardness, but as your correspondent just noted, a lot of these issues have been on the table for a long time, so it's not exactly like they're unknown. My anticipation is that this will be kind of a probing by both sides, and both will be looking for an issue or a pretext that they can use to continue the discussion. This is obviously something that would be politically very beneficial both to Donald Trump and to the North Koreans.
And John, President Trump is on record saying about his preparations ahead of this summit that he's relying on intuition, basically. Is this really an acceptable answer from the leader of the free world when he's meeting with a guy who is, has been studying and prepping for a meeting with the West, arguably his whole life?
I think the way President Trump sees this, Manila, is that the ossified, traditional, conventional way of preparing for these summits has led to one policy failure for the United States and the international community vis-a-vis North Korea, going back to the Clinton, Bush, and Obama administrations. He's been disruptive on almost every other matter of policy, domestic or foreign, and he's being disruptive here. But I do see a clarity of intent here with his continued emphasis on denuclearization. And even though that's not going to be achievable at this one meeting, if President Trump is able to achieve some measure of immediate and comprehensive access for inspectors to all nuclear facilities as the beginning of the process, I think it'll be a very important milestone and takeaway from this summit.
And, Phil, taking what John just said, the president has openly said that this is a one-time deal. When a denuclearization is on the table, and this is their first-time meeting, can this be achieved as a one-time go?
Well, it can't be achieved as a one-time goal, but it certainly is possible that there will be a significant enough first step, as John is suggesting, that will enable this process to move forward. There are other things that can be on the table. For example, there could be a concession on the part of North Korea to stop the process that it's using to develop weapons and weapon systems. Now, that would be a considerable win for Donald Trump in terms of being able to diminish the threat down the road. So there are ways to play this, and I think that both sides are probably anticipating a number of different gambits that they can employ.
And John, the president's national security advisor, John Bolton, was at first, he was kept at arm's length from the whole North Korea talks. He wasn't even allowed into the Oval Office meeting when the North Korean spy master Kim Yong-chol was in town. He's a divisive character, to say the least, but now he's there with the president. He was uninvited to the trip, now he's back on. How will Bolton affect this summit?
Look, Bolton is going to play a critical role here as the coordinator, per his title, Manila, coordinating between the National Security Council, the State Department, the Defense Department, and the intelligence communities. But I think just the way President Trump has personalized the potential success of this summit meeting in a tremendous and very distinctive way, I think also he's entrusted Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who got to study Kim Jong-un when he was CIA director for the last year and a half, and also has met Kim now on several occasions and communicated with him. And so he's really entrusted the leadership of this process below the principal level, that of President Trump, to Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. So I don't think there's a competition here between the two, between Pompeo and Bolton. But Trump said, this is Pompeo's. Bolton, you're going to coordinate depending on how we succeed or not.
Okay, fair enough. You're saying there's a support structure there, not just Bolton in Trump's ear. Phil, I'll give you the last thoughts on Bolton.
Yeah, well, I would say that Pompeo is the principal player within the administration, but the thing to remember is that the real player is Donald Trump. and he clearly is doing something that's both tactical and in his mind strategic. And the question is, how does he balance these two, and how does he move from one level to the other? And this is something hopefully we'll know a lot more about tomorrow.
All right, thank you so much for sharing your insights and expertise with us, John Sitilides and Philip Giraldi.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.